Well, I'm talking by the request of Mom. Um, Yesterday was Easter, and we didn't do too much. We were going to go down to Granddad's over the weekend, but Edwin fouled things up again. He had to go to a band thing Friday night and stay until Saturday. And then Saturday we decided not to go, and Wilma wasn't off. Um, Wilma wasn't off today, so we just decided not to go. And yesterday, or let me see, I guess it was Friday, we dyed some eggs, boiled eggs. And then yesterday I hid the eggs for Danny, and he went out and found them. I helped him a little bit. And then he hid them, and I found them, and he had to help me. And still are two missing out in the yard. And, well, today I got this little orange tree that I sent off about 3 weeks ago for, a miniature one. And I sent off for it from this little card that I got down at the Rexall. And I sent off $1 and my address and everything. They sent it, and I got it today. And it's in a pot that's about, 2 inches high. And the plant's about 4 inches high now, and we have to transplant it, and we have to keep it at a certain temperature, and we have to give it peat moss and organic fertilizer and all sorts of stuff, and it just doesn't hardly seem worth it. And anyway, we're going downtown today to get some peat moss and whatever else that stupid little tree needs. We're gonna pamper it along. It's supposed to give little tiny oranges. I might send you some if you want some, if it ever even bears any. You know those old bikes that were sitting outside rusting away? Well, anyway, Pat and I took them apart and modified them a little and put them together, and we took the fenders off the big one, and we put one of the tires from the little one on the front of the big tire, or front of the big bike, and we kind of fixed it up. And since Danny's bike is inoperable because of his flat tire, then we gave it to him. He rides it around some, but I guess he's lost interest now. Well, I can't think of anything else to say. Bye.
This is Wednesday the 9th, and it's taken longer to get a tape ready to send you than I aimed for it to. The weather's so nice and warm now, we've been working out in the yard some. We worked out over the weekend. Last Thursday, I spent all day baking to take to Dad's last weekend, and Friday morning Wilma called, and Edwin had joined a band who had a previous engagement in Marianna, Arkansas last Saturday night, so she couldn't come until Sunday, and she'd either have to go back Sunday or take part of Monday off, and she said they were so short-handed in the office she hated to take time off. So, and also Ken didn't think he would be off, but he found out at the last minute that he would. But Nola's kids were in an Easter program at Sunday school, and it was so late she hated to try to find somebody to take their place in the program, so they didn't plan to come. So we just decided we'd call the whole thing off. So we were stuck with 2 cakes, and which are now gone. And we had a pretty nice weekend here. I think we all enjoyed staying home and just being here. And we raked and burned some leaves and did some work outside, and I've been neglecting you, I'm afraid. Today, well, last night, we had a thunderstorm. About when I went to bed, the lightning was just flashes. There was no thunder or anything. And when I started turning out the lights to go to bed, Sport beat me in the bedroom and was sitting there beside my bed. So I carried his bed in there then. And then as the storm got closer, he put his front feet up on the side of the bed and jiggled the bed and scratched, and I finally put him up on the foot of my bed, and he insisted on laying by my feet, and he'd move, and that would wake me up, disturb me. So I feel like I hadn't even been to bed this morning. Everything's real green. The yard's completely green now. And the trees are green. The leaves are big enough that it's all green now. It rained about 2.5 inches last night in one thunderstorm about 3 o'clock this morning. And it's cloudy and more rain's predicted for today. I got the mantle clock back one day last week, Saturday last week, and it works fine now. I haven't found the key yet. I think it's in that little cedar chest, wherever the little cedar chest is. I have about 2 days left to find it before the clock runs down, I guess. But it's keeping real good time. You know, it used to lose just a little bit, considerable over a length of time, and it's keeping good time now. They adjusted it, I guess. I think I told you I got the springs back from Sergeant Wines. He sent 2. He sent a spare, and the watch repairman at Robinette Jewelry put it in for me. We've managed to get to church the last 2 Sundays. We just go and sit and come straight home. I haven't actually met anybody new. There's a secretary from Joe's office that called a long time ago and invited us to go with her to this Wesley Memorial Church, and I told her I'd let her know when we got ready to start, but I didn't. We just went on our own. And she called yesterday to invite me to the guild meeting at her house tomorrow night. It's so hard for me to get away in the evenings. I told her I'd make an effort to get there, but I couldn't promise. I'll just play it by ear and come if I could. And Doyle and Leola with Garth and Gwen stopped by Monday about 5:30. I think they'd been up to Mr. Crownover's, and they just stopped by. I had been trying to work on the plumbing, and I just quit when they came. The kitchen water has been draining into the bathtub for a long time. It would drain in, and then drain out pretty fast, but in the process it would mess the tub up. So I thought while Larry was home, we'd run the rod through there and clean it out so it wouldn't back up in there at all. So instead of doing that, we stopped it completely up so it drained in and wouldn't drain out. So I went down to Mr. King's and got one of those rod um, sewer rods, I guess. And it was so stiff that it wouldn't make this turn right here. It'd go in about a foot into the pipe here at the kitchen window, and that's as far as it would go. So I took it back down and put the plug back on the outside here, and we're just going to give it up. And so Doyle took our wire or spring type snake and ran through there once more, and we didn't think that he did any good because the water was still going into the bathtub. So they went home feeling like, he said he felt like he ought to be doing something about the plumbing, but he didn't know what to do. And when I used the dishwasher then that night after supper, the sink was inadvertently stopped up or closed, so the water from the dishwasher stayed in the sink. So can you hear that pounding in the background? That sport laying on his bed, beating his tail against the floor. He's sacked out today getting his sleep he didn't get last night, and I'm not getting my sleep I've missed. Anyway, what I was saying about the dishwater, it filled the sink, so I just uncorked the sink all at once and let it run out fast, and it ran into the tub, and the pipes gave a couple of groans, and then it ran out real fast. And since night before last, it hasn't been running into the tub again, so I must get word to Doyle that he must have helped it some way, because it between our efforts and his and the accidental catching of the dishwasher water, it seems to have unstopped it. He said he got the tape. He must have a tape recorder or have access to one, because I asked him if he got the tape, and he said yes, it was a political or a propaganda or something. I forgot what he said. Anyway, he had been able to listen to it. The deposit slip for $10.50 came, and also one for $200 came. I suppose it's from Patch. That makes $500, and I guess that's all he owes. On the 19th of March, I went to a Dr. Olivito at Little Rock Air Force Base because I couldn't sleep without Somanex, and I had just finished off the last bottle, and it said not for prolonged use. And I was nervous and so irritable I couldn't speak a civil word to the boys. I'd lost interest in everything and couldn't do any housework, and my emotions and thoughts were so slowed down I really had to make a conscious effort to do anything. Nothing came naturally, and I'd lost all that weight. I just cook and wash clothes when I had to. I was just utterly depressed. I had hoped to be able to shake it by myself, but I wasn't, and I thought I'd better not let it go on any longer. I told him all that, and he got excited and wanted to send me to a psychiatrist, a Dr. Hawley, Hawley, in Little Rock. And so I went the next day down there on the 20th of March, and then on the 25th and the 28th and the 1st of April and the 8th of April, and have another appointment day after tomorrow on the 11th, on Friday. He gave me some kind of antidepressant capsules and some others for sleep. I waited to tell you until I could say I feel a lot better, and I do. I can do housework, and that's why I haven't gotten a letter off to you every day. I've been trying to catch up on things that's been piling up ever since the household goods came. It isn't hard for me to imagine Carol having a nervous breakdown. Dr. Hawley asked me the first time I went if I would go along with a request for emergency leave for you or a compassionate transfer, and I said never, absolutely not. So in the 5 days before I went back, I'd already begun to feel better, so he hasn't mentioned that again. I plan to see if this appointment Friday won't be the last one. I'd like to try on my own to see what I can do. I don't know how much longer I can take those capsules, but I right now feel like I can just keep going on my own. I hope you won't take your irritability too lightly. It could happen to you, whether you're ready to admit it or not. I don't want you to worry about me now, because I feel now like I'm out of the woods. And if you want to comment on it, do it on a separate page so I can take it out of a letter. I don't care anything about Jimmy and Sarah knowing that I've even been going down there. I can just see them shaking their heads and say, poor old Nels done flipped her wig. I haven't called that Mrs. Harris back anymore because I haven't cared whether I saw anybody or not. As soon as I can get the house cleaned up enough to have company, I'm going to call her, go over there and see her, and invite her over here. But I just, it's been so long, she's probably decided don't aim to contact her again, but I just haven't wanted to get together with anybody. Joy called me one day, and it just irritated me. I just didn't even want to talk to her. That's been quite several days back, and I must get together with her again now that I feel like I can enjoy company. I haven't heard from Shirley since I read you that part of her letter, but I haven't written to her since before I went to pick up the car, apparently because she's written me twice, and in one of the letters she said, you told somebody that I had been to pick up the car, and that was a long time ago, so I must get a letter off to her too. Pat Petch and I were talking about Carol nading one time before Ike got his assignment. Pat knew her better than I did, living there in the same stairwell with her, and she said something to the effect that she didn't think, or she was worried about Carol if Ike got a Southeast Asia assignment. She seemed to think she wasn't too terribly stable. I'm sorry to hear about her. I had hoped she'd make it all right living up there with her family. I'm glad you're feeling all right now. I do encourage you, though, to not overwork and overdrive yourself. I'm proud of the way you were able to reorganize and improve the situation over there. I know you, though, after you organize an outfit, you lose interest if it runs smoothly. Do you have anything to do for relaxation? Can we send you anything like clothes or something to do, Dan might send you some knitting. He bought some different colored yarn the other day. He bought lilac colored yarn, and he just knits away. It's so funny. Brings it home every night from school and takes it back every morning. And I don't know whether he has any knitting time at school or not, but he carries it to school and brings it home every day. I just about run out of anything else to say, I reckon. I'll quit here and get this one off. I promised it day before yesterday, I think it was, and so I'd better get it off. Take care of yourself. Forrest, love you. Bye.